This one's going to be even crazier because that means the interns for Hotty Toddy that do video, they're going to have to be up at 6 in the morning, 5:30, 6 in the morning, and be out at the Grove.
You just scared Hudson.
And trust me,
What?
you,
oh yes, that's when because they go live on the air. What 7, 8 o'clock in the morning our time?
who? Uh,
College game day,
I
eight
think it's
o'clock.
more like 8, 9 o'clock, something like that.
It's not
Central.
9 o'clock. I know that.
Okay.
Uh,
Bro,
so
what?
I mean,
Welcome back, folks, to the kind of debut. We actually picked a name. Welcome to Hotty Toddy Roundtable, the show where these three talking heads are going to sit here and talk about Ole Miss sports, football, baseball, basketball, softballs, maybe even a little soccer if we can trick Andy into allowing us to do that.
ball belongs on the end of a seal's nose.
And also, I mean, I know y'all saw this, but the Ole Miss soccer team is 3-0 now after last night's game. I know Andy was watching that, while he was also watching YouTube and probably doing five other
Oh,
things.
oh, yeah! I was watching it. Well, I was watching, paying attention close. Right.
But speaking of stuff that was on TV last night, there was a high school football game that should be of interest to Ole Miss fans that featured several Ole Miss committed players and targets for both the 27 and 28 signing classes. And we'll start it off by just kind of that included the Ole Miss four-star Keegan Croucher. Hudson, I don't know if you saw it or not, but kind of Andy probably doesn't know who that is. So I'm going to turn it over to
I know
you to kind
exactly
of.
who he is. He's Mr. and Miss Croucher's little boy.
Well, here's the deal. Keegan is a great quarterback. I watched his game tape from last night. I didn't watch the full game, but I watched some of the highlights that he had, and I love the way that he was handling himself. He talked about in the post game conference that they had, which was crazy. That a high school team had a post game press conference, but he was talking about how it was kind of an adjustment going into the game with TV timeouts and all that sort of stuff. I feel like he handled it really well, and that's something that could show a light going into college football. Maybe it'll be a little bit easier when he does transition into college football. But I thought that he played really well, and he had a quarterback matchup against another Ole Miss quarterback. And I'm not saying that. What was the guy's name? I'm blanking.
Cruz Jenkins, the three-star quarterback out of Brentwood Academy. So
And
on
Cruz
both
didn't
teams.
play very bad either. Like he played pretty well. There was a lot of talent on both of those teams. Lots. I think there was 6 players ranked inside the top 300 in their class for both sides of the ball. So
And Baylor has the running back David Gabriel Georges committed to Tennessee, and Ole Miss was one of the three finalists for him. Watching some of his highlights, like Ole Miss just back the Brinks truck up for him. Do whatever you got to do to get him to come.
and
For a
I'm still
running back,
excited about that David because look, he has an opportunity. Like if he's in the top, if Ole Miss was in his top 3, and he ends up hitting the transfer portal his sophomore year, there's a good chance that Ole Miss is in the run for a transfer portal spot. So it's okay that he doesn't develop his freshman year here. There's still a chance of him coming to school here. I feel like I could be wrong. He may fall in love with Tennessee when he gets there, but
Well, I mean that's true for all players nowadays.
yep, it's true.
that's why coaches have told me they don't become a jerk when somebody else signs with another team and say, well, screw you. You're not going to win a game there or anything because you may get a chance to recruit him again.
Right.
Which that opens up a fascinating topic as well of what the future Ole Miss quarterback room. Obviously, this year the Rebels have Trinidad Chambliss, but if you look beyond this year, they're going to have Deuce Knight, the freshman transfer from Auburn, very talented. He's gotten rave reviews after that first scrimmage last Saturday, and then you'd have Keegan and Cruz joining, as well as whatever other quarterbacks are on the roster.
There's a
But
quarterback that you're missing out on, specifically number 19, Reese Wise. Look, he was a quarterback at Westlake High School. I went to Lake Travis. That was our rival school, but I think that Reese Wise was a great quarterback in high school. I think that Ole Miss did a really good job recruiting him. Yeah, he got into a little bit of trouble earlier this year with some mishaps, but you know what? There's a lot of players that mess up their freshman year, and I think that he still has a chance to be a good quarterback at Ole Miss.
I would agree with that, and yeah, I did forget about him, so my apologies to Mr. Wise. Um, but Andy, you're the old timer here. A situation like that, having you know a bunch of highly rated quarterbacks in one quarterback room, is that just a byproduct of today's game, or is that just kind of?
Yeah, it's a byproduct of today's game. In my day, uh, first of all, you had 5 years to complete 4 years of eligibility. At that point, you're gone somewhere. They didn't care where you went, but you wasn't going to stay there. Uh, and you couldn't play college ball anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So you had development players. So if you already had three quarterbacks on the roster, you didn't go recruit another quarterback for a scholarship position because, quite simply, you were developing what you already had on the roster. Now, if you take a walk on that wants to pay his own way, and back in my day, if you were a walk on, you had to literally pay your own way. Somebody, your family, had to pay it. Uh, it's completely different now with the transfer portal and everything. Ole Miss has all these quarterbacks. I will guarantee you, Crouch and Wise and what's the other one's name?
Keegan Croucher, Cruz Jenkins, and Reese
Yeah,
Wise. Did I get that
one
right?
of one of those, at least one of those guys, probably two, will not be here a second year if they come a first year. Because they're going to look and see too much competition there. Somebody's going to offer them some more money somewhere else, or they'll see that they're not going to be able to play at the SEC level and move down, or they're going to go somewhere where they can play. That's just the way the world works now. There is no development. There is no 4 and 5 year development of players.
It's an interesting world we live in, and uh, Hudson kind of alluded to another interesting part. The game was on the high school football game was on ESPN last night, and some more ESPN news came out. I'm sure this news shocked everybody when they saw it. Like, nobody saw this coming. But guys, ESPN College GameDay is coming to Oxford on September 19th for the Ole Miss LSU game. Now,
I
I'm going
thought
to
they
give y'all
already
a second.
announced it.
Yeah, that was the thing. I saw the headline today, and I was like, "Wait a minute, y'all haven't already done that? We've just all been assuming it."
I think they announced the first two games, and there was some false reports saying that they were coming for the September game, but no,
Well,
they announced it on their social media platforms, so they're coming.
everybody assumed it. Now, this is the first time since when were they here last? 2011.
2014, Katy Perry was there, and it was Alabama versus Ole Miss.
Oh, that was that one. That's the
Oh,
last time.
that was the infamous Katy Perry scene with the corn dog.
I'm like 90% sure that's correct.
I thought it was 2011, but I could be wrong on that.
It's
Someone in
2014.
the
Sounds
comments
about
might just
right.
like blur me and say, "You're wrong."
No,
What
I
happened
don't.
on the last video?
I mean, I've seen so many years of this stuff. I can't. They kind of blur unless it's some specific year.
No.
This one's going to be even crazier because that means the interns for Hotty Toddy that do video, they're going to have to be up at 6 in the morning, 5:30, 6 in the morning, and be out at the Grove.
You just scared Hudson.
And trust me.
What?
Oh yes, that's when they'll start, because they go live on the air. What, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning our time?
Who?
College Game Day?
I
8
think it's
o'clock?
more like 8, 9 o'clock, something like that.
It's not
Central.
9 o'clock. I know that.
Oh,
Uh,
Bro,
so,
what?
I mean, you're going to have the Grove is going to be packed.
yeah, it's gonna be a crazy environment out there. But like Hudson, you're there, you're on campus. Is there any sort of like hype or talk around,
Oh,
you know,
dude.
the reaction and just kind of that game in specifically?
I saw a video this morning. I can't say the exact word, but it was 300 kids in a house mosh pitting saying F Lane Kiffin over and over. Like, and there's videos of it all over social media. Like, this happened last night. There's stuff like that every day. Like,
Really?
there is so much like violent hype for this football game. Like, and look, I'm excited for it too. I mean, I'm not trying to get like violent like some of these fans, but like I'm excited. This makes sense. This is a great football game we're about to watch. So yeah,
Okay.
it's insane.
I have a friend that has a daughter that is a season
Oh,
ticket holder. It's not my daughter. That is a
you
season
have a
ticket
friend.
holder to Ole Miss for the entire football season, but she doesn't live anywhere near Oxford. She was asking me, her daughter was asking me, did I know anybody that had a place in Oxford she could rent for that weekend? I said, I know some people that have it. I said, let me call up. Let me tell you what the cheapest rate that they had was
$4 grand. That's my guess.
$7,200 a night.
Hudson, if we come up there, you got a couch for us to crash on, right?
I got two actually, so
Hey, there we
that
go.
would work really perfect. We got two couches. So
Just to check, just in
now I don't know
case.
who's taking that couch because we've got so many people coming up for it. But man, season ticket. This is another thing. So student tickets were purchased a couple of days ago this week for $260 total for all the season tickets for student tickets, right?
Yeah.
They're scalping them.
They were being resold online for minimum $2,500. And I saw one sell for $8 grand. I don't know who got snubbed and who was dumb enough to buy that ticket, but they recently passed a deal on SeatStock that if you sell your ticket on SeatStock, you can only sell it for $250 a game. So in total, the maximum that you can now sell it, starting like yesterday at not like 9 p.m. or 5 p.m., somewhere around that time, you can only sell it for 1750 for all tickets, which
Yeah.
is still insane. I mean, that's still a
How
$1,500
do you
upgrade.
regulate? I mean, I thought, again, this is where I'm being old and I don't know what the rules are now. You don't have to show a student ID when you come in with that ticket.
You have to show, well, no, not with the Ole Miss app because you have an Ole Miss login to the student ticket.
Okay.
Does
Do
that
the
make
people
sense?
that,
But there's so many students here that we can't give tickets to everybody. Does that make sense?
yeah, but it should be used by Ole Miss students and require a student ID to get in the gate.
It is. It's students transferring it from each other, like one person to the other student. Like one student who doesn't care about Ole Miss football and doesn't want to go for the
Yeah, I
season.
understand this, but
Yeah.
they not to buy the ticket. I'm talking about to actually physically get in the gate.
Yeah,
How do you know an actual Ole Miss student's using the ticket?
it's through an Ole Miss login. You have your like actual ID through the login to get access the ticket to show them.
They're
But
digital tickets, right, Hudson?
yeah, it's all digital. It's not
Yeah.
like
There
physical
you go.
tickets, you know.
Well, there's the problem. You got digital. You little propeller heads are going to figure out a way to game the system and get it to work around it. So you simply show a paper ticket. Here's my driver's license. Have a great day. Where are the hot dogs?
Sounds like we're getting on a train, like a steamboat train or steam train. Or
No,
or
that's just how
Coltrane or whatever.
everything was 20, 30 years ago. Before all the digital stuff,
Do you know I was in college 50 years ago?
It's wild. That's like
Just process
twice
that,
the
my guy.
times. That's 2 times my age plus. That's crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Keep going, Hudson. It's fun when somebody else does it.
hey, I'm used to it. I mean, I hear, and I know I'm old, and I'm glad to be old. It
Yeah,
beats the hell out of the alternative.
let's go.
There's our cold open for the day. Well, speaking of LSU, there's a lot of assumptions being made about that, and some former Ole Miss players maybe transferring there, finding a way to get there after a Louisiana state court ruled that I think it was 33 total athletes in various sports, including 16 football players who were at NFL training camps or have recently been at NFL training camps. Another year of eligibility. Season starts in 2 weeks, guys. And so for Ole Miss, that does include tight end Daquan Wright, defensive tackle Xavier Harris, and then the safety Wydett Williams. Um, Fellas, this is I guess chaos reigns supreme still in college sports. Is that the kind of takeaway reaction?
That
Absolutely.
boy Daquan Wright is gone to LSU. There's no way that he's going anywhere else. I hate to say it, but I could be wrong. I don't know him, but I just wouldn't be surprised if he went to LSU. He's on that offense, spent lots of time with Lane Kiffin. I
Yeah.
just and I don't disrespect that decision actually. Like if you have a relationship with a coach and you have the opportunity to go back to college football, it's smart to go where but for your own success to go to play at a different level at the NFL. So I actually don't disrespect that. I think that makes sense for Daquan Wright if he does that. That's assuming that he does. There's a chance that he goes somewhere else, but
Well, and it should be noted, Hudson, the SEC does have that rule that says players can't transfer to another SEC school outside of the normal
Oh, yeah.
transfer
That's
portal
one
window.
Tom Mars lawsuit away from getting overturned.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
yeah, I think that a lawsuit could fix that problem, but I
Yeah,
don't
and
know.
I know Tom Mars well enough to know that, yes, if it comes up and he gets the opportunity, he would welcome the opportunity to do it. But when is college football, when are we in the media going to change our terminology and quit calling this a commitment? Because these kids now are not people of their word, they have no honor. They're just giving a pledge because that usually is when the bidding starts. That sets the base floor for
Well,
when the bidding starts for this stuff. So it's not really they're not committing anything. All they're doing is saying they've got the first bid in that looks pretty good because none of this is done because they are playing for the school. 99% of these players are not playing for the school, they are playing for the money.
Y'all want to know how I see it with this? Like, this is actually funny. Me and my friends were talking about this. If you're committed to a school to play, and you're like you said, so many players can flip commits. Lots of them do. Commitment has no value. What commitment has value for is the commitment graphic that you post on social media that gets 38,000 likes and gives you X amount of followers, 7,000 followers, 10,000 followers, because you committed to that school, right? There's so much publicity that comes with committing. So, like, I'm not saying that's what most players do it for. There's some players that go in there and they do it for the purpose of committing to that school. Like, hey, I have always wanted to go to school at Texas A&M. I'm committing to Texas A&M. I've always wanted to go to school at Ole Miss. I'm committing to Ole Miss. There's lots of players that do that, but at the same time, I feel like there's a lot of commitment value for social media purpose.
I'm going back to what Andy said. Andy, this isn't like a new thing. Commitments haven't really been commitments for decades
Correct.
now. How many high school, recruits, flipping recruits, flipping commitments is a common thing, and it's an accepted thing. It's just now that we have the NIL, we have the transfer portal, and there's money involved now.
Well, I mean, you have commitments. You've always had commitments, and a few people that flipped. And I've seen over the years the changes in how that. When I was in school over 50 years ago, they were still recruiting players for this year, the 2026 season. They would have still been signing players in June.
Yeah.
High school seniors to play for the Ole Miss Rebels and be at camp in August. That's how things have changed, where they're offering kids at 8 years old and crap, 8th grade.
Yeah, I remember some of that.
Okay, I mean it's ridiculous. It's out of hand. Not that I'm gonna throw a huge fit over it, because nobody really cares what I think, but until you get some transparency, you start telling some of those offers and you track the money of all this going on, and people will get disgusted at it. It's just pointing to the entire structure of college athletics that's going to have to figure out a way to change, because I got news for folks. There is a ceiling. I don't know what that ceiling is, to where from the finances and things like that, they're gonna find a ceiling, and the bottom's gonna crash out of this, and then it's going to be an unsustainable economic model, and that's going to bring about changes. Whether it happens in my lifetime or not, I have no idea. It might happen in you guys' lifetime.
No, you got Illinois spending $90 million on a scoreboard, the second largest video scoreboard in college
Well,
football.
that's so they can get
You
Brett
have
Bielema on it.
150 million in buyouts just this last off season, maybe even more than that. So the argument that there's a cap, or that it's not sustainable, it's sustainable. Let's stop spending $90 million at Illinois of all places, who's trying to recreate whatever
They've got to have a
magic
big one.
Indiana had.
They've got to have a big one. You got Bielema waddling up and down the sidelines. I mean, you got to have a huge scoreboard just to get him in it.
Okay, that's fine. They can do that. Then Illinois can't be complaining about, without some bill from Congress, all these Olympic sports and women's sports are going to go away because we don't have the money. That's the part where I'm like, when you talk about money,
Everybody is counting on Congress to put a lid on it. I mean, to Congress to somehow come in and regulate it. I have had so many lawyers, judges. I've talked to 2 judges, and they're like, Congress doesn't have the control to be able to do what they want them to do. There is no path for Congress to enact a law unilaterally against colleges regulating what a private business can do. They just can't do it, and it'll get overturned in the courts. It'll get overturned in the courts before the lawyers can drive home after the announcement.
Well, and to get us kind of back on point and headed towards an end, I wanted to ask y'all so put yourself in the shoes of Pete Golding and ask yourself, would you want any of these players back? So Xavier Harris, Daquan Wright, Wydett Williams, would you want any of them back on your team, considering we're less than 3 weeks, closer to 2 weeks away from the start of the season?
I would have wanted Daquan Wright back. And the reason I say that is, yes, that tight end room is really good right now, but having experience like Daquan Wright back at that tight end position, I think that Daquan Wright was a really good tight end. And the fact that he didn't get drafted was really weird to me. Like, I found that really, really weird. I thought that he would be a fifth, sixth, maybe seventh, like maybe seventh round draft
Yeah.
pick, and he went undrafted.
Mhm.
And another player I would have liked, maybe Wydett Williams. I liked Wydett Williams personally. Like, I thought he was a really good player. I thought that he was one of the better corners in the defensive back room. So, yeah, I don't know. I think those two players. I mean, Xavier Harris is really, really good also, but we have so much defensive line help right now that I don't think that there's any point in us spending the money to go and get Z Harris.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Good points. Andy?
No, I don't want him back. If I'm Pete Golding, I don't want him back. If you're not going to play at Ole Miss, you chose to leave. Good luck to you. I hope you do great. I hope you make millions of dollars. But you're done making it at Ole Miss because you've proven you're not loyal to the program. You're not loyal to the team. So good luck. Have at it wherever you end up.
I wouldn't say it like that because
I
I mean
would.
you went off to the NFL.
Yeah, that's
I
the
mean,
thing. All three of these guys up last week were in NFL training camps. Xavier got cut, but I mean Daquan Wright and Wydett Williams are both still at the Cleveland Browns and Arizona Cardinals training camps. So
yeah,
it's not like they're abandoning Ole Miss. They were.
Yes,
really
you
just
are.
abandoning
You
the football
left. You
teams.
could have stayed and played. Don't give me that crap. They chose to leave for greener pastures and a chance to play professional ball. Good luck to you. I hope it works out great. But you're done with college. Bye bye. Good
They
luck
were
to you.
and Andy.
I
They were
don't want them
done.
back.
They were done with college because they were out of eligibility
I
until these
understand
recent
that.
court
Bye.
rulings.
Goodbye.
Okay.
You're gone. You have divided loyalties somewhere else.
I don't think the divided loyalties part is correct.
I don't think they can refocus in 3 weeks and contribute a thing this year to the Ole Miss Rebels.
Now that I can get behind, but the divided loyalties part, no. Like they didn't have the
Well, they may
option
root for Ole
until
Miss, but they're still not going to be able to focus, get their focus back, get locked in on Oxford. Could they make it happen? Yeah, they could probably come up with the money and find the money to make the move, find a place to live. But they're not going to be able to get focused. They're not going to get up to speed on the new offense, the new defense, whatever's changed since they were here. You can't just go out there and go, what do you want me to do? Find out where the ball snapped, go tackle and put them on the ground. What you want me to do as a tight end? Run a pass pattern, block the guy. Okay, well, it's a whole different offensive wrinkles. So, no, I don't want you back. Bye.
Okay. I do agree that it's just too close to the start of the season. There's too much already going on. Game plans for beyond Louisville are probably being made, so it's just too soon, and a lot of the other reasons were already said. So, all right, that's all I had today, fellas. Unless y'all have something that y'all wanted to talk about.
I'm good. I think
All
we've got
good.
everything covered.
Okay. Well, then we'll go ahead and sign off. This has been Hotty Toddy Roundtable. Taylor Hodges, Andy Hodges, Hudson Miller. We'll be back Monday with another episode. Until then, remember to like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this content. If you got a question you would like for us to answer, drop it in the comments. And yeah, we'll Hotty Toddy and see y'all Monday.